Hey Falcon fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into our Atlanta Falcons news and rumor video here on a Monday, and we are on Matt Ryan watch. I mean, literally, today is the day we're going to find out exactly what Atlanta is going to go ahead and do with our starting quarterback in Matt Ryan. Will they trade him, or will they keep him and pay him a roster bonus, which is due at 4 p.m. Eastern time? Now, before we jump into this, just quickly, this is being filmed early Monday morning. By the time you watch this, there probably will be a decision. So if you're watching after 4 p.m., know that it's probably been a trade, or they've kept him. But as of filming this right now, getting it out early to you guys here on a Monday, we don't know what's going to happen just yet with Matt Ryan. So, as I mentioned, the decision will come by 4 p.m. today. Why? Because he has a roster bonus due at 4 p.m. today, and if he stays on Atlanta's roster past 4 p.m. Eastern, the Falcons will pay out a $7.5 million roster bonus to go basically on with the contract that he currently is under for the next 2 seasons. Now, Atlanta, as we'll see, according to Ian Rapoport, has been fielding calls regarding trades for Matt Ryan for not just the past couple of days, really the past couple of weeks. This has been something that's been growing, everything I've heard, even before the Deshaun Watson trade, or before the Falcons started going for Deshaun Watson. So, again, today is Judgment Day. Today's the day we find out what happens with Matt Ryan. Now, Ian Rapoport has a tweet, an update on this, came out this morning, quote, "The hashtag Falcons fielded trade calls for the last few days centered around quarterback Matt Ryan, sources say. Today is a deadline to make a decision, as Ryan will earn a $7.5 million roster bonus from Atlanta if he's on the roster at 4 p.m. It would be a trade or back to Atlanta, possibly with a sweetener, and the sweetener being a brand new contract. So, what should they do? I'd trade Matt Ryan today. Very simply, I would trade Matt Ryan today, because you hear the sweetener there from Ian Rapoport. I've heard that Matt Ryan wants a new 3-year deal. He wants a new 3-year extension, and not only is it an extension to keep him here a little bit longer, it's kind of a, hey, you guys tried to screw me by getting Deshaun Watson and trading me away, make up for it by paying me more money. So you're going to pay your aging quarterback even more money. Now, I'm not anti-Matt Ryan. I'm a Matt Ryan fan. You guys know this, and I've wanted Matt Ryan to stay the quarterback, basically due to the fact that I don't think that the draft quarterbacks this year are that special. But once they went all in on Deshaun Watson and also made that public, which was the big mistake, because nothing leaks unless they actually want to leak things out of NFL organizations, they basically have to trade Matt Ryan now, because what are you going to do? Just have him come back and be like, oh, well, it wasn't an issue. Let's just ignore that ever happened going for Deshaun Watson. It just creates too much drama. Trade Matt Ryan. Don't worry about getting too much for him, because then you might price yourself out of an actual deal. Take whatever the Colts will offer you, take whatever the Seahawks will offer you, and move on. And then you can figure out what the quarterback future is. Like, it's going to be a bad season in 2022. And that's basically virtually guaranteed right now. But and at least start the rebuilding process by getting your new quarterback. Now, I wouldn't go to free agency to get that new quarterback. Even if you want to wait till next year's draft, the free agent list right now is atrocious. Like, take your pick out of these guys. Andy Dalton? No thanks. Cam Newton? Absolutely not. The best one here is Marcus Mariota, and Marcus Mariota hasn't been a starter in a couple of years. He's been a gadget player and a backup for the Las Vegas Raiders the past couple of seasons. Geno Smith? You know, you want Geno Smith starting in Atlanta, Falcon fans? No, definitely not. So really, what the Falcons should do is trade Matt Ryan and then draft the future this year. Like, I mean, even though I'm not high on any one of the 4 you see on your screen right now, these are your best options. Go for Kenny Pickett. He'll be there at 8. What about Malik Willis? He's the most, I'd say, trending up quarterback in the draft right now. You want to get your mobile guy with a big arm? Well, go ahead and draft Malik Willis. Matt Corral, you get the Ole Miss connection there. Obviously, just a couple of, state border away over there, moving to Mississippi. A lot of Ole Miss fans here in Atlanta. He's an option. And then, of course, Sam Howell out of UNC. It is going to be a very interesting day, but Atlanta has backed themselves into a hole. By going all in on Deshaun Watson and then not getting Deshaun Watson, you've created the scenario that you have right now, and we'll wait as the clock continues to wind as we get closer to 4 p.m. Eastern time here on Monday, March 31st. We'll see what happens with Matt Ryan and a possible trade. Let me know what you guys think down below. Will the Falcons trade or keep Matt Ryan today? Type T down below for trade, or then they're going to keep him, which maybe they do. Type K down below for keep. All right, we're going to get into a good signing the Falcons had over the weekend. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the latest Matt Ryan coverage. We're going to have plenty of round-the-clock coverage basically all day today if the Falcons go ahead and do something. If they trade Matt Ryan, we'll talk about it. If they keep Matt Ryan, we'll talk about it as well. So go down below and subscribe. We overpassed 5K subs here on the channel, which I appreciate. If you guys want to help it grow, go down below and hit the red button. All right, so the Falcons made a deal over the weekend. You probably saw it if you're on Twitter for a pass rusher. This was a pretty darn good move, and one I did not see Atlanta being able to get into when Lorenzo Carter was officially released by his former football team, the New York Giants. So, of course, the Falcons, official this morning, have agreed to terms with edge rusher Lorenzo Carter on a 1-year deal. The details of the contract are not exactly clear on that yet, although it's pretty cheap. It's not necessarily a big deal. It's just kind of a 1-year prove-it deal because Carter has been injured each and every year he's been in the National Football League. He's missed at least one game every single season during his career. Now, former UGA player, third-round pick out of Georgia. We all talk about the Falcons don't add Georgia players. Well, they just did, and he is a very young, and I'd say very bright, upcoming pass rusher added into what is a very bleak pass rushing core, as we know. So here was the Falcoholic writing down on Carter coming over to Atlanta. This gives a good breakdown of where we're at right now. Quote, the Falcons are getting a 26-year-old outside linebacker coming off a campaign where he posted 5 sacks in 14 games, with 4 of them coming at the end of the season as he heated up. The Atlanta native has 14.5 career sacks over 4 seasons and has a knack for pass deflections, racking up 15 over that span, end quote. They also said, quote, he hasn't had elite production at this point, in other words, but he is quick, aggressive, and has improved as a defender against the run, making him a fairly well-rounded player, end quote. Listen, I'll take any fairly well-rounded player who had 4 sacks in the last 5 games on this defensive line roster because, as we know, the defensive line is pretty darn bleak right now. Now, we expect them to go and draft somebody early on, but if you're now going to draft a quarterback, as we talked about, then that means you're getting a pass rusher in round 2 instead of round 1, which means he might not be as good, and so hence the need to go ahead and go out and get Carter. This was a solid move. I mean, I think, honestly, Atlanta, minus the whole Deshaun Watson, Matt Ryan drama, has had a pretty darn good offseason, and adding a guy like Carter, I think, was a very, very good move for the Atlanta Falcons. What do you guys think? Should they still go pass rusher at number 8 overall? Because, again, now you got to think about taking a quarterback if you let go of Matt Ryan, which we'll see. If you think that they should get a pass rusher, type Y down below for yes. If you think they should not, type N down below for no. All right, quickly here, final story. This happened again over the weekend. Quick update. We knew it would. The question was when, and it took a little bit. It was like the first week of free agency came and gone, and nothing happened. And then, boom, Atlanta has finally signed Cordarrelle Patterson back to a 2-year deal worth $10.5 million to stay in Atlanta. Talk about a home team discount. I mean, literally, this is way less than I thought they would be able to get Patterson for. I've been saying for weeks you got to pay at least $8, $9, $10 million a year for how great Patterson was last year, but either Patterson tested the market and wasn't as sought after as we thought, or he wanted to take a pay cut and stay in Atlanta, which seems to be more of a reality, being that he has been very, very high on staying in Atlanta and really being the guy in Atlanta in terms of their top playmaker. Now, Atlanta still, needs a number 1 receiver. This does not solve your wide receiver issue at all. You have Cordarrelle Patterson and, I guess, Alaman Zaccheaus as your wide receiver depth charts, but Fontenot had to make this deal. He got it done, and you're bringing back now a guy who was unbelievably successful. We're talking about 11 total touchdowns, 6 rushing, 5 receiving. He had 618 yards on the ground and only 153 carries. He had 548 receiving yards. The ultimate weapon, at least for the Falcons last year. I mean, he's not the best weapon in the National Football League, but for Atlanta's bleak offense, it was pretty darn good last year, and so Fontenot gets the deal done. It is a fantastic team-friendly deal, and again, this goes off the back of Casey Hayward and bringing in Damian Williams, and now you get Lorenzo Carter and bringing back Cordarrelle Patterson. With the little money that they had, they've made some good moves. Can you figure out the quarterback spot now? That is the big question, and one we're going to follow for the rest of the day. If you guys want to welcome back Cordarrelle Patterson, because I know a lot of you guys are big 8-4 fans, go down below and type 84 to welcome back Patterson to the ATL. We knew all along he was going to stay. It's just nice to see the fact that he officially is going to stay in Atlanta. It's a big move for the Falcons, and a nice job by Terry Fontenot, who I keep saying had a very good offseason so far. All right, again, make sure you guys are subscribed. Any sort of new stuff happening, we're going to cover it here on the channel, including a quarterback trade. We'll see if they can get rid of Matt Ryan today, or they'll keep him. We'll keep you guys up to date on that. Hit the red subscribe button and the notification bell down below. And, of course, do a mailbag video later on this week. Falcons. Down below in the comment section if you guys want to get a mailbag question in. I'll pull the best ones I can find from our subscribers later on this week. All right, ultimate today on Atlanta Falcons. Today, I'm Thomas Mott, signing off for the rest of your day.